Happy holidays, Pisces. Welcome to your teen rune scope with me. My name is Amanda. This month, in conjunction with the runes, I will be using the gorgeous Tarot Art Nouveau Premium Edition by Antonella Castelli. Then do join me over on Vimeo On Demand page. I'm going to be pulling one card from Madame Endora's Fortune Cards by Christine Philippak. That's going to be your spiritual guidance for the month of her. Also, your teen career rune scopes are now posted over on Vimeo page. So you'll definitely want to check those out for, information, energies, opportunities that are coming in for, career, money, payouts, all that good stuff. Your love rune scopes will be posted over there next month in time for day. So keep a lookout for that. The link is below. Just click or tap show more and you can find your way over there to that good stuff. But let's see what Pisceans are going to be up to for 16. Pisces, which runes? I want to talk to Pisces about her. A lot of them. There's a lot of runes. Okay. Now, as always, Pisces, do check out the video for your rising sign as well. That gives you additional information and messages regarding what's going to be coming down the pike for you during the month of her. Of course, the only way to get a reading that's all about you is to schedule a private session with me. I do those on Skype. They're $5 for minutes. Just drop me a line at runescopes4you@gmail.com to set that up. And now's a great time to do that because you can beat the rush. I usually do book up really quickly and for people wanting New Year's readings. So if you want to beat that rush, definitely get in touch with me. We'll get you set up in more and take a look at what teen has in store for you specifically. Holiday gift certificates are also available for those of you that would like to give the gift of a reading for her. But let's see what we've got here. Pisces, challenge or focus? We have Ace of Cups reversed. So, some of you could be dealing with overcoming a disappointment, an emotional disappointment. For some of you, it could have to do with actually a vehicle or travel, a disagreement or communication that you receive, news that comes to you that's concerning or emotionally disappointing. So you could be trying to overcome that or, just dealing with that energy. With the Ace of Cups in reverse, and Rado here, this could have something to do with someone being pulled over, getting like a DUI, driving under the influence. And Pisces, hopefully that's not you. So I am going to caution you. December can be a month of holiday parties and celebrations. And, just make sure you're not overdoing it. You're not, and then getting behind a wheel because it could end, and that's good advice for any month, but because that's coming up here. Now, for others of you, this could be someone else close to you that you find out is drinking again. They're involved in an accident, or it's just bad news that, you get that they're, doing this. You're concerned about this person, that sort of energy. For some of you, maybe this is just a disappointment in love, in a relationship. You may find that you're disagreeing with someone that you have been dating or that you are, in a relationship with, married to. There's just, maybe it's been a difficult time. And there's just a lot of, it can be a month of watching your communication because it's more likely that you kind of add fuel to the fire rather than reconcile. So, and if you have had an argument with someone moving into it, might be better to wait until the new year. It may not be the best month. We do have a Mercury retrograde, the planet of communication, going retrograde. So it may not be the best time to reconcile, to come together. It'd be better to wait and do that at the beginning of the year here. Now, as we move in the present situation, kind of the energy as we move from her into her, we've got Four of Rods. So this is talking about instability when it comes to home and family, instability when it comes to a relationship, to just issues, frustrations around the home. And there's a lot of travel runes going on, travel, movement. Some of you have had some disappointing news regarding moving. They be delayed regarding that. For some of you, maybe that's what this is. It's you were hoping to move and were hoping to be settled, and then there's a delay around this, or a delay around a relationship moving forward. But for some of you, there just be delayed travel. You may not be able to go home for the holidays, or you not be able to travel for the holidays because you have to deal with other things, or you don't have the money, or maybe you're just not feeling up to it because this relationship has kind of knocked you for a loop. We'll see as we move along kind of what the advice is going to be here. But yeah, I mean, it could be that you kind of get into an argument at the beginning of it with a family member or with someone that you feel is, gossiping about things, or continuing to kind of stir the pot. We have Ansu's here in reverse. So that is the rune of communication, but it's in the reverse. So it is kind of like, someone gossiping, telling lies, telling, someone who's giving biased advice. And for many of you, this it could have to do with a partnership. So maybe this is, people who don't approve of someone you're in a relationship with, or someone you're dating, or you not approving of someone in the family's relationship, and maybe they're going to be traveling to, the holiday dinner, and you're kind of like, oh, I cannot deal with these people, or I don't want to deal with this, or, they're going to cause problems and cause arguments, that kind of an energy. But Pedro is here indicating that at the beginning there may still be a lot of information to come out before that happens. So, you may not have all the information here at the beginning of Pisces. Maybe these people won't end up coming, or maybe there's news regarding this relationship. Some of you be nervous about meeting the family of the person that you have been seeing, or vice versa. Maybe they're going to be meeting your family. They're coming to holiday dinner, and that's another thing, because another thing that's kind of got you, oh gosh, I hope family doesn't behave like they normally do, because that's certainly going to embarrass me. Or I hope family doesn't get drunk the way, drinks too much and got loud and out of control. That's another way this can work. But honestly, I feel like whatever this is, I mean, once you kind of walk through that door, you get the hard stuff out of the way. That's what they're saying. It's like if you're introducing someone new to the rest of the family, you're getting the hard stuff out of the way. Once that's over with, they're going to know what to expect in the future. And, but yeah, some of you would just be up in the air. Who's having holiday dinner? Are people coming here? Am I going to host it? Where are we going? That'd be why this is there's this instability around home and family or a relationship. It's like we can't decide. Maybe people are fighting over, my parents want us to come here. Well, my parents want us to come here. And there can be this, conflicting energy, but you're going to work it out. You're going to work it out. You have to compromise. You have to, both people have to compromise and give up something that they want here. But, in the reverse, we do have the Judgment card in reverse and Fehu in reverse coming up as a help to you, Pisces. So, I do feel like any kind of, maybe you feel like you've used poor judgment when it comes to money, but that's not the reality. There seems to be, when it comes to financial things, or a job that maybe fell through, or, maybe a promotion or a gig that you thought was no longer going to bring in money, turns out that it turns around in Pisces. Anything that does fall through or that isn't working, or if there is a judgment in a legal case that costs you money, anything like that, there could be, or something that you fear is going to cost you money, or that you're going to be sued for, or anything like that. You could find out in December that that's not going to happen. These fears could be unfounded. Some of you, this could be a job that you interview for that would require moving, and you interview for this or you interviewed for it and then you find out that someone else got it, that you didn't get this, and you feel like, oh, well, that was a poor decision on their part. This is actually going to work out in your favor because for whatever reason, it wouldn't end up being lucrative enough for you to either maybe pay survive in the cost of living wherever this location was. Or it just wasn't going to, they weren't going to be paying you enough. So, and again, if you just maybe interviewed, you maybe didn't discuss salary, but it seems like this salary that came up wouldn't have been enough for you anyway. So anything that falls through, any offers that fall through, any sort of legal stuff that you'd be concerned about, and especially anything that's unfair. This can also be like a decision that is unfair, a legal case or a legal decision that is unfair. And you will have options to, look at that or appeal that or, go a second step with that, at least, Pisces. So yeah, this is not a final decision for any of you. Now, what must be accepted about her? We have the Hermit. So many of you are going to be spending some time on your own, maybe hibernating a little bit but I think that's because you're either hibernating with your honey. So that's a good sign. I do think of you, whatever these disagreements are, you'll work it out. Maybe you decide, well, we're not going to go anywhere. We're just going to stay home. We're just going to stay home and watch Christmas movies. We're just going to do things here. But if you are working on a project, you are, and it's something that you're doing alone, you are, working on something close to your heart, definitely creative, definitely fulfilling. And this is whatever this is, whether it's a plan to start a new business. And again, check your career rune scope over on the Vimeo page and see kind of how the energies look with this. But yeah, there's something that you are pursuing, working on in her that is going to end up being, your good luck charm, your gift, your progress. And so anything you're working on alone, individually, and it's going to be shining a light on other things that other people need to know, lessons, things that people need to understand. And this could happen in many ways. This could be a blog. It could be a book. This could be, if you're an actor or an actress, it could be a performance. It could be, an editorial. Yeah, there's something that you are doing that's going to shine a light and guide people. Because the Hermit, he holds this lantern and he's guiding people through the darkness. And he has wisdom, he has experience, he is very knowledgeable in this area. So it's something that you know about, you've been focused on, whether it's, your career path or kind of a sideline. You are venturing into new territory, but it's based on past experience and past knowledge. Now, some of you, this would be a spiritual journey. So maybe it's a course or a class or a book that you get for maybe for Christmas, a gift from someone, and it totally just opens your eyes to a new way of thinking, a new enlightenment. But yeah, the Hermit has a lot to do with enlightenment, new reason, seeing things from very different perspectives, philosophy, definitely anything with a spiritual overtone to it or theme. And that's going to be your escape. I feel like no matter what's going on, it's going to kind of be, you feel like you're using poor judgment when it comes to money. I know I said that earlier, but it'd be kind of like, and that's not the case. It's an illusion. So Pisces, maybe it's kind of like you feel like, oh my gosh, I got to slow down. Oh my God, I can't take this time off. I'm not going to have any money. You need some time off to recharge. So, and I feel like if you should take 2 weeks, I'm getting a strong 2. So if you're planning on just taking 1 week, but you've got a lot of vacation time, Pisces, you need 2 weeks. And for whatever reason, you feel like, oh, I shouldn't do that. I'll miss out on something. Or, for some of you, maybe you work on commission. So you're like, oh, I can't really afford to take 2 weeks off because I won't have commission coming in. And you need to do it to recharge your batteries. You're going to be okay. That's a misjudgment. Don't force yourself to work if you don't have to. You need some time off. You need a break. You've worked very hard this year. The outcome at the end of November, we have 9 of rods. So this has to do with waiting for battle. It's kind of like you fought and you fought and you fought and you're not quite done. You know there's another one coming. But this is kind of, we're taking a break from it. We're not gonna go there. We'll fight that battle when we come to it. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Because the runes surrounding this, you have Aol and Lagus and Daeg. So this indicates Daeg has a lot in common with the Hermit card because it talks about enlightenment, gradual progression in seeing the truth of things, seeing the progress that you've made. It's not overnight success. It is something you're putting a lot of work into, but you're almost there. You're almost done. Whatever this is, you're almost done. You may not finish it before the end of teen, but teen will be a year where not only do you finish it, but there are stepping stones throughout the year of taking this to the next level or maybe levels. And often rods has to do with your passion, what you are fiery about, your gifts, your talents. This is what you really want to do for a living, as opposed to maybe what you've settled for or what you have been doing 9 to 5. This is really, I want to live the dream. I want to improve my circumstances. I know I don't want to be dependent on a company or anyone else for money. I want to be liberated from all of that, which is a very Piscean. You guys are at your best when you are in charge of your own destiny and your own creative vision. Other people tend to try to put you in a box or you have to work to fit their vision of whatever, a company is, or you have to follow the rules. And that's just not really your deal. It's not really your thing. So you're always at your best when you're running the show and maybe working alone, not necessarily managing others, because most of you don't really like that either. You'll do it if you have to, but you're not really a fan of that. You'd rather just be left the heck alone and, able to, do what is fulfilling to you and not have to deal with naysayers, not have to deal with people who are disagreeing, so that you have to change your vision in some way. Because for you, it's kind of like anytime anybody wants you to change your vision or change the way a project is going or tweak this or do that, it like dilutes it. Every time that happens, it dilutes what it is you're trying to do or your message or your innovation. You feel like it's that they're narrow-minded. Because let's face it, you are the most expansive when it comes to thinking and seeing into the future and being innovative and inventive. And then people come in and say, oh, this is not possible. We got to, lop this off the plan. Or you can't do that because, these people will react this way. So we've got to change that. And yeah, it's just each time it's like they keep diluting the whiskey. You know what I mean? They keep adding more soda water to the whiskey here. So I feel like it'd be taking longer for you to accomplish this on your own or do this on your own, but it's going to be worth it in the end because it's going to be solid and exactly the way you wanted it, the way you envisioned it. You're almost done. And some of you will be waiting at the end or going back to the issues around the holidays or this disappointing news that may come up. You'd be waiting for a battle or an argument that never comes, which is great. It may be kind of like a little bit unstable again, or there'll be delayed travel or issues around moving. But it does seem like it's going to be worked out in the end. Like, things will get back on track. You have a lot of protection and you're going to have a lot of guidance and wisdom available to you. And just intuitively, you're going to feel like, maybe even though, okay, this deal fell through with this house, or, I didn't get this job, or, you know, I didn't work that extra week, but I'm so glad I didn't because, because maybe you thought we're going to have to really struggle for money, and actually it's going to turn out okay. Maybe you get cash for Christmas as a gift, or, gift certificates. They're going to help you, pay for things so that you have cash to pay bills. And, it was okay that you took that extra week off. So whatever you're worried about regarding money, regarding job loss, or, missing out on a home deal, some sort of disappointment, it's actually going to turn out to be okay. And the negative results that you're anticipating, or the way you think something's going to turn out in a negative way, is actually, it's not going to turn out that way at all. Some of you may be anticipating just arguments with family, disagreements, disappointments, and then that never comes to pass. Maybe this is just a fear that, there's going to be all this emotional baggage and stuff stirred up during, and then it's like, it turns out, well, hey, that wasn't bad. That was maybe the best holiday we've had in a long time. I'm so glad, usually we fight like cats and dogs, and that didn't happen this time. So it really looks like, Pisces, you're going to do well. Anything that falls through, or any judgments that are rendered that seem unfair, you're either going to have an opportunity to go back to the drawing board, or go back and appeal this, or it's going to be for the better, or it's never going to happen. You're just going to feel like, oh, I was so concerned about this, but then that didn't come to pass at all. So that's what I see for here, Pisces. Let me just see if there's anything else that we see going on here. Yeah, something that you have been, or something or someone connected to home and family that you may have lost your patience with. Maybe a member, or at the beginning of it's not gonna get any worse than that. Again, you'll be maybe waiting for a second round, and then it doesn't come, and things are actually smoothed over, or you get some sort of new wisdom or a new perspective on this that kind of helps you see maybe where the other person is coming from. Maybe they get that to see where you're coming from, or maybe you just have a really open, honest discussion that's non-confrontational, that helps you, Pisces doesn't tend to like confrontation anyway. So you're far more likely to approach things from a sympathetic, empathetic perspective. And, that can soothe people, but definitely if you've been treated unfairly, if someone has done you wrong, you have a right to be upset about that. You don't have to express it in an angry way, but you should still express it, Pisces. And I think you'll be happy with the way that that turns out. So good luck. Happy holidays once again. And I'll see you back here next month. Meet me over on Vimeo. I'm going to shuffle Madame Endora's fortune cards. We'll see what further guidance, what further spiritual advice and wisdom we can get for you for the month of Virgo. So I'll see you over there, Pisces. Thanks so much.